Flippin' Fantastic Podcast. We're on episode number 17. I'm Alicia the Ink Picker.
And I am Mo87 Official. How is everybody this week? I hope garage sales, yard sales treated you well over the weekend. I'm sure they treated you well all week.
This last week, well, okay, so actually I
You
have a
guys are
story
there
about
all
that.
like the weekdays.
So, so I had my surgery on Wednesday.
Mhm.
Um, my friend, she was like, "Hey, I'll take you to sales. Just let me know." So I wake up the next day, Thursday morning, well, not even 24 hours post-op yet. And I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling okay. Take a couple pain pills, and she comes and picks me up, and we're out sailing. And I still got a bunch of stuff, even though like I was, I needed to be careful, like getting around. I can't lift anything super heavy for the
Right,
first couple
right.
of days, and
Mm-hmm.
I still came back with a bunch of stuff. Then she also took me out on Friday, and then Saturday I went by myself. I couldn't drive for 24 hours after the surgery, so I technically couldn't drive till lunchtime the next day, but she still took me out on Friday, drove me around, and then Saturday I went by myself. But I didn't find a ton, but I still found some decent stuff. Like one thing that pops in my head is like Calphalon, what's her name? Kayla homeschooling picker picks up Calphalon all the time. I found a
Yeah.
Calphalon toaster, but it's like a 4-slot toaster for
Mm-hmm.
$5, and it
Oh,
should
nice.
sell, I think, around 60. Oh, there goes my light again. Anyways, but that's like the first toaster I picked up to resell. Oh my
Sweet.
goodness.
I've been looking when I go places a lot more at that kind of stuff. I haven't found anything, you know, worth it yet. But I'm also like, I don't spend a whole lot of time on it. I just like look at something. If it looks like in nice condition, I might look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to figure out. Like, I know certain brands that sell like Calphalon and Le Creuset and
Mm-hmm.
what's the one that Kayla's always looking for? Is it Salad Master or
Salad
something?
Master. Yep.
Yeah, I'm always
Yep.
looking for
That's a
that.
good brand.
I've never
Mm-hmm.
found it. I mean, she finds
I've
because
never
apparently it's all in
found
Kentucky because she finds it all out there.
it's everyone out there has that. No, I've never found Le Creuset yet, but I have found Salad Master, like an electric skillet that you plug in, and I've found Calphalon before here. But
I have a couple pieces of Le Creuset. I'm not like cooking's not my favorite thing, and
mhm,
but like that stuff. Oh my gosh, when like I don't have a gas. People that love to cook have gas stoves and all. I have electric stove, and
mhm,
I always feel like electric stoves are always like it's either too hot or it's too cool. You never get that sweet spot.
mhm.
Le Creuset, I have one like frying pan and one like pot. First of all, the frying pan, what do I make in it? Eggs. Like it heats up so nice and even. Like I understand why people like it. And then I have a pot and
Really?
and no lie, water boils in that in like 2 minutes. It's crazy.
Really?
Like whereas if I put it in my, my Farberware pot or whatever it is I have,
Mhm.
you're waiting forever. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
never really
so I
thought about
understand.
that like
It's
a
it
pan
just
could heat up better, you
it
know.
it like conducts the heat and it spreads the heat out nice and evenly. Like I really get why people like it, and I will not get rid of those 2 pots.
Well, shoot, maybe I need
Or pan. One's a pan.
to
Mhm.
start looking at, like, if I find it, maybe consider keeping it instead of reselling it.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes if I found one time I did, I think it was in estate sale pictures,
Mhm.
and it was just recently. I saw it. I was like, "Ooh," and it was yeah, I saw it. I was like, "Ooh," it wasn't a color like that I particularly would want, but whatever. And I think it was the same
Mhm.
size as the pot I have with the lid. So I really wouldn't need it, but the inside of it, because they're enameled and everything. They're
Uh-huh.
cast iron and heat
Yeah.
dried enamel. It was all completely chipped up. Like I don't know how you do that. Like were you beating it with like a hammer? Like I don't know how you get it. Like like complete big chunks of that enamel. Like they're so
Yeah.
tough. When you get one, you're like, oh my god. But so I didn't try and go for that at that sale. Somebody must have picked it up because it was gone. But yes, that's why it goes for so much. I mean, and it's like, the way they make it, it's like, crafted in France and all that. But I'm telling
All
you, as
fancy.
someone who is not a cook, I don't like to cook. My husband does most of the cooking, but I do like this that I bought. Oh, I bought them a long time ago because people were like talking about because we needed a frying pan, and everybody was like into the cast iron, and I have
Uh-huh.
a glass top stove, and a lot of cast iron is rough. Like you can't put it on a glass top stove, but this has the enamel. You can put it on there.
Oh.
I get it. I was like, oh, I
Well,
get it.
the
This is awesome.
fanciest pan that I have, which I think I got it for free or I think maybe somebody gave it to me,
Hmm.
but on the bottom it's stamped with Emerald. I don't know if you know who Emerald is. He's
Yeah.
used to be on the Food Network, and I remember watching him with my mom
Bam.
when I was
Is he
younger.
Bam
Yep.
guy? Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. Anyways, that's like the fanciest pan that I have. But of course, the only thing I do with it is usually like brown ground beef, which like it's not hard like for a pan to brown some ground beef, or like
Yeah.
maybe I'll make a quesadilla in it. But like
Yeah.
I
It
haven't
does make a
noticed
difference if stuff
anything.
doesn't stick a lot or
It's
if
actually
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Um.
mean, because like I've had frying pans and everything sticks, and like the nice ones that I've had, and this
Uh huh.
like Crusade one, stuff doesn't really stick to it. It's easy to clean up, that kind of thing. So I mean, it makes a difference. Nice pan. Anyway, I don't cook. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I do make a lot of eggs. I eat a lot of eggs. I eat a lot of eggs in that pot
I
from that pan.
we always buy eggs, and it's either we use up the whole carton in
Mhm.
like a week, or it sits in the fridge for like 3 months. It's like no in between. So like I haven't bought eggs since like people have complained about the prices, which I haven't really paid attention, but I really haven't bought any just because I'm like it feels like it just goes to waste a lot. So,
We eat a lot of eggs, and then my son goes through stages, but like he's like at an age where he's starting to like because he was like a chicken finger and pizza kid for a long time.
uh-huh.
Try and make him eat other stuff, and he pick at it, but he is eating a lot more things now. He likes eggs, and he eats a lot of them. I eat a lot of them too. They're
There's this
easy.
speaking of eggs, this is kind of not reselling related, but there's this dish that my family makes cuz my my father is Mexican. So we have a lot of, Mexican dishes when we were growing up,
Hmm.
and we have this thing, it's called migas, but basically you take some corn tortillas, you cut it up into little squares, get a pan, put some oil, fry up the tortilla squares,
Hmm.
and then you put some eggs in it and make scrambled eggs, and you eat it like that. It's just like mixed with like tortilla. It's
The
really
corn.
good. I
I need to
recommend
do that
this.
because I have like some issues, but I don't eat gluten
Mhm.
anymore. But
Uh-huh.
that's why I like Mexican food because you can get the corn tortillas.
Yeah.
I mean, I love
No,
Mexican
it's
food
really
anyway, and I'm
good.
so glad that I can still eat it. Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
yummy.
It's very good. I should tell Dave, world's best cooking, easiest recipe, world's
We're
best
the
migas.
migas. Mm.
You can't mess it up. Just don't burn the tortillas. Like that's probably the worst part. Like you could like
Right. Hmm.
it's easy. It's really good too. You could throw cheese in it, salt and
Hmm.
pepper. There's even times where they put potatoes with it, so it's potato, egg, and tortillas. Or
Oh, yeah.
I think
I
at one time we threw hot dogs in it, so it's hot dog, egg, and or no, I don't think hot dog like ham or something. I don't think
Yeah,
it's hot dogs.
sausage, anything.
Anyways,
We
it's
could.
really
That's
good.
like eggs are so easy. Well, I'll like
Mhm.
because I like if I'm hungry in the middle of the day, lunch, whatever. I'll make myself
Mhm.
eggs, and I use. Sometimes I'll just have a like a breakfast burrito, which is just me. It's just eggs and cheese and salsa on a
Uh-huh.
corn tortilla. But I just now I can throw the tortilla in with the eggs. Yeah,
I
sounds
love
good.
flour tortillas. I couldn't imagine ever not eating them.
It's a long story, but I got rid of like a major. I used to get. I went gluten free because I have a thyroid condition and it's autoimmune,
Oh,
and that's
okay.
kind of the first thing they tell you with any autoimmune now is they're all kind of interrelated. Like celiac, which is the original gluten-free thing, is
Uh-huh.
autoimmune. And I have there's a bunch of celiacs in my family. And but anyway, so I was reading a lot about it. This was back in the day, and when I first got diagnosed, and they were like, go gluten free. So I was like, well, I'll try it. It's probably not going to last. Well, I used to get from the time I was a baby, motion sickness, like terrible. Like always had Dramamine on me.
Uh-huh.
And then as I got older, I was getting like not most just vertigo, like in the middle of the day, just vertigo. Oh my God. And after I had my son, it was like getting worse. I was like having like one
Mhm.
attack a week. It was terrible. And you'd end up taking like the meclizine, which is like the Dramamine, and you get drowsy, even though it's non-drowsy because you have to take extra. And anyway,
Uh-huh.
after I went gluten-free, I was like, oh, I'm gonna try it for, like 6 months or something. And like after like 3 or 4 months, I was like, I have not had any vertigo since I did
That's
this.
crazy how
And
that's
I
like
haven't gotten um car sick or like, my husband flies a plane. I used to have to pop a couple Dramamine. We get it because I was a bunch of
uh-huh.
times I was barfing in that plane.
Oh
Because as soon as
no.
it's little, as soon as you hit wind, boom, 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 boom. Oh,
Yeah.
forget it. Yeah, I haven't had any. I have,
Wow.
and it's been years now. It's been years, but the vertigo was just. I mean, I have lived with the um motion sickness all my life, and I mean that's kind of limited to when you're in a moving vehicle. The
Mhm.
vertigo was just killing me. Because it's just in the middle of the day, all of a sudden you're like, oh. And if
You
you
oh,
don't
I
get,
can't do anything.
if you didn't get it, if you didn't get it fast enough, your whole day is done. And like, I remember one time I got it in the middle of class. I had 2 classes left, and I was like, I'm like, you know, breathing like so. I don't barf in front of these kids, and I'm calling the office. I'm like, somebody's got to come in here. I got to get out of here. And nobody comes. Nobody comes. I'm calling the teacher next door. I'm like, somebody's got to come in here. Help me.
Yeah.
And then I went in the teacher's line and laid on the couch because I got sick. It
Uh-huh.
was, it was, it was infringing on my life, like
Yeah.
it wasn't
Wow.
just when I was in a moving vehicle. It was like all the time. And again, I thought I was having, there's something called Meniere's disease because I think people in my family have had that where you get
Mhm.
vertigo all the time, but it went away. So I'm happy that I don't get
Wow.
that anymore. Yeah.
Well,
And
that
that's the only
sounds
thing I
really
changed was
good.
gluten. Mhm.
Wow.
So I have to give up the flour tortilla and just eat the corn tortilla, but I make do.
Well, they'll probably also make gluten-free flour
they
tortilla,
they do. I
like
have them.
the
They're
fake
okay.
ones or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah, they're okay.
Um,
Some gluten free stuff is better than others. Oreo makes a perfect Oreo cookie. Gave it to you, you wouldn't be able to tell that was gluten free versus not.
really?
And then some stuff like some bread is like I just don't eat bread. I just don't really eat bread anymore because most of the bread is it's okay but not great.
Mhm. Wow.
But yeah,
I'm trying
so
I just thought of
that's
something
about
else as you were
far from
talking, but
reselling as you can get. But actually,
that's
I'm glad.
okay.
But yeah, corn
It's okay to
tortillas,
have an
yum. Let me say,
off-topic moment.
and did you read my post on the Discord about Cinco de Mayo? And my husband was supposed to get the enchiladas from the really good Mexican place, and
Yeah, and then what happened?
he called the wrong place. He had, I guess he was like looking up the numbers on his phone, like because you can
Uh-huh.
order online for both. The other place has like really good burritos, but I wouldn't. It has it has a Mexican name, but it's not quite Mexican. But the burritos are good, and you can get all kinds of stuff on them. And I can get
Mhm.
like they do have gluten free flour tortillas for them and everything. But I wanted the enchilada meal from the really good Mexican restaurant. He he looked it up and he was like, "Is it this one?" I'm like, "No, it's the Mexican table. It's the other one. The one in." He's like, "Oh, okay." So he looks it up. Their online was down. It wasn't working. I think they had too many people, because it was Cinco de Mayo. And then he's like, "Well, I'm going to call." And he calls the wrong number. And he He orders them from them, and I swear it was like pizza sauce on an enchilada.
Oh
It was
man.
so good. It was like I was like, "Drew, this isn't good." And it wasn't a meal. It didn't have rice or refried
It's also
beans.
like one of those things where like
We didn't
you're
get the
excited for a meal, and it's like all you think
oh,
about, and
we didn't
like
get
and
the
you're like,
free
I'm so excited to have this.
we didn't get the free homemade chips and salsa. I was so upset. He has to make it
Man.
up to me. But he went so he called the wrong place. He goes to the other place. He's waiting, waiting, waiting. They don't call his name. He goes up. They're like, "Are you sure you called?" The girl's like, "You would have talked to me. I don't remember talking to you." And he looks up and he was like, "Oh shit. I called the
Oh
wrong place."
no.
And he said that place was like, it was a nut house. It was crazy, just like you couldn't get a table
Yeah.
to sit, and the takeout was crazy. I mean, because it is really good. It's my sister has a friend. He's not Mexican, but she works with him, and he lives on the other side of town, but that's where he comes to get his enchiladas. He's like, those are the best ones. Those
Man.
are like
I'd
home.
be I'd be so sad.
I was so upset. Because you just you're wanting one thing and you get nothing. But oh well.
Speaking of wanting one thing, getting disappointment. So I think I told you about this, but anyways, I got married about a year ago. Well, June 2nd's our anniversary. So it's
Mhm.
coming up.
Yeah.
We got married. My husband got me a beautiful ring. I didn't find out until the day of the wedding, or the moment we signed the paper and got married, what the ring looked like, and I fell in love with it. I loved it.
Mhm.
Well, I decided to wear the ring a bunch while I was working, and one day the gem falls out, and then it just caused a whole onslaught of issues with this ring where I'm just like, we just need to get a new one
Yeah.
because not one but two jewelry stores screwed up the ring. We order a new ring because we're like, oh, our anniversary's coming up. We're gonna take another trip to Colorado, go back to the area we got married, and exchange new rings. Because I
Mhm.
got him a silicone one because he works on computers all the time. But I got him a
Yeah.
nice wood ring, and
Mhm.
we ordered his wood ring and my new ring. His ring comes first, and it's like two sizes too big, which
Oh no.
that was our fault because, well, I had taken his silicone ring and like there's this thing you can do online, like if you have an iPad where you can find like a ring sizing thing and there's
Mhm.
like a picture of a quarter on the picture. So you zoom the picture up to the size of the quarter so it's accurate
Right.
size.
Mhm.
So I did that and we concluded about a size 11. Well, we got it and it's like huge on him. And I'm like, okay. So we order a new one for him. I'm like, whatever. It was our fault. We'll figure out something with that ring. I get my ring, and the issue with it was I went to one of the best jewelry stores here in town to get my initial ring fixed. And they ended up like chipping the ring. Like when they went to like hammer the prong back, they like must have chipped my ring because it was cracked and chipped. And
Wow. Mhm.
I get this new ring. The way it's a kite shape. The way top prong right underneath it, there's a freaking chip right underneath the stone on my new ring. And I'm like, what the heck? I ordered
What?
it from Etsy. We ordered both of our rings from Etsy
Uh-huh.
because I'm like, I don't want to go to a jewelry store and pay, hundreds of dollars. Like, I don't
Mhm.
need a fancy ring. So
Right.
I was really upset. I'm like, this is coming up in less than a month. Like, we're leaving. We're gonna go do this thing in Colorado. And I'm like, this ring. So I got a hold of them. Apparently they're sending me a new one. But
Oh, well, that's
it's
nice.
just nothing but issues with rings. So
Ah!
I've settled for this little simple band. It's got little tiny diamonds in it. I'm like, this is great, but I want like a show off ring. I want a ring to wear like when we go
Right.
out to
Mhm.
eat or like family
Yeah.
events.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's been nothing but I just had to complain about some personal life stuff. But that is just it's
Yeah,
so
hey,
frustrating. And I
that
also like
stinks.
I insisted on having a black diamond. That's just my thing. I wanted a black diamond with silver.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so I guess with black diamonds, I guess according to the other jewelry place, because I had complained about the condition my ring was in when I got it
Mhm.
back from them fixing it. They're
Mhm.
like, oh well, black diamonds, they show imperfections more than like a clear diamond. I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense because it's
Mhm.
it's black diamond, like clear diamond. It's kind of like you know. Anyways, but issues upon issues with rings lately, and I'm over it. But anyway, it's a beautiful ring though. It comes in like 3 pieces, so you can, like, choose, like, if you wanna
Okay.
wear the middle piece with the
Right.
diamond or you
Uh-huh.
can, like, wear the top pie it's
Yeah.
fancy, but
That's nice.
it was less than $100, like,
Right.
so I guess, to So
I
that
don't
way if this
even
one gets damaged, it's not
I
like,
know.
"Oh, it's $1,000 ring," or
Yeah.
whatever. Because 'cause I'm just
Mhm.
like I'm gonna be honest, I'm rough with my hands, so, like,
I
any
know, and I don't even wear my regular diamond most of the time.
Mhm.
I I didn't wear it a
Like,
lot
some
when I was
people don't. I
teaching.
mean
Well, when I was,
uh-huh.
like, there's reasons, like, if you're rough or I was teaching and I taught science and I was like, I don't know, you're always, like, doing something and, you know, I just I'd end up I'd wanna take it off at school and I wouldn't
Mhm.
because then I'd lose it. So I
Yeah, for
just, like,
sure.
left it off. I'll just wear something that I wouldn't cry if I lost it, you know?
Yeah, see, like, I went through the whole heartbreak of having, this initial ring that
Yeah,
he got
right.
me, and it was so special because like, he
Mhm.
nailed it. It was like it was a teardrop shape with little leaves on the band, and it was so cute, and then all this crap happened, and I cried over the ring. I know it's just a ring, but I cried over it because 'cause I'm like, to me, it's so
Yeah,
special and
it was
sentimental.
special. Right.
And then we
Mhm.
get this new one, and then I noticed the chip, and I'm like, "Well, hopefully" it's coming from, like, I don't know where. I think it said, like, India or something on the Etsy listing.
Okay.
It says it's handmade, but I don't think so. I think they probably get a bunch of cheap rings and whatever. Whatever, it's pretty, like, that's all I care about. It's pretty, and it
Right.
doesn't, like it's just my show off ring, but
Mhm.
man, nothing but issues with rings, and I'm just like, I'm so over it. I'm like, I'm so ready to, like, just be done with it and probably, like, put it in a little case and never touch it so it never gets misread. Anyways, as far as finds, did you have any cool finds from garage sales? Because I know I mentioned my
Um,
toaster, but
yeah, I had a few. I didn't have, like, I didn't fill my car or anything.
Mhm,
I had to take my son had to take a placement math test on Saturday morning, so there was, like, there's so many, like, all the developments around here, neighborhoods were having, not all of them, but a lot of them were having their sale, and, like,
mhm,
our neighborhood was having one. But see, like I told you before, it's like it's like our neighborhood designates, it's always the first Saturday in May, unless it rains, and a lot of other ones do that day too,
mhm,
but not everybody, I drove through my neighborhood, there was maybe, like, 5 or 6 sales, So it's a lot of driving for, you know but anyway, so I had to take him, so I went to a different part of town because, um, it's their older developments, people have been there longer, so you kinda,
mhm,
not to say that it hasn't been turnover, because the very first that I went to was a young couple. Somebody was buying a bike off him. He had a son with him. Son was trying out the bike, and so I get out and I look and I see, like, Disney pins. So I'm looking at them, and
ooh,
then I look around and I picked up a DS, for like $3. It probably doesn't work. There's no cord or anything. I
like a
haven't
DS
even.
Lite, like the first kind? Or like a
Um, I think is it a DSXL?
there's a DSi XL, but I'm not sure if there's anyways, is it like a bigger one?
I
Like
think
a
now I can't even remember because I know we've had I have a DS. I had a DS Lite. We had all of them.
Mhm,
Now I don't even remember. But I was like, well, maybe I was like $3. I'll take a chance and, you know, whatever. And then so I went back to the Disney pins because then somebody else drove up. I was like, oh, I got to go back over there.
mhm.
So, I looked up this one first, and I found sold for, they're all
That's
haunted.
really cool.
They're haunted mansion and, Tower of Terror ones. So this mini sold for, I saw her for like 30 or $40 somewhere in there. So
Wow.
it's like, I'm gonna get the haunted mansion and the Tower of Terror ones. She had a couple other ones that weren't, they were just Disney. They weren't, ride
Mhm,
ride ones, and then some other pins. They were cool, but she charged me $2 each. Um, so there was 6 of them. I grabbed them. This is my favorite, but it's the one that doesn't seem to sell for the most. She glows in the dark. It's, yeah, Madame Leota from the Haunted Mansion. She's like in the
that's really cool too.
ball.
That's so
But,
cool how intricate they make their pins.
yeah, I know. So I did look them up. So I have that glow in the dark one. here's the thing. Here's what we can talk about: auctions versus buy it now. So a lot of the sold comps for these pins are auctions. So most of them will be auctions, and then you'll have like this mini one. I think she sold a bunch
Mhm.
of times, like in the last whatever comes up on sold. What is it? Last 90 days or something?
Mhm.
60 days. I don't know what it is. The almost $40 price was buy it now, and all these other lower prices are auctions. Like I'm like, why are
That's
people
weird.
doing auctions? And it's the same with all these. Now, the Madame Leota one, she didn't have any solds. There's a few listings. And then I got there's these are Haunted Mansion 2. It's like Goofy and Mickey, and they're like probably like $20 each. Oh no, wait. This guy has sold like between 30 and 50. Again, between auctions and buy it nows. I don't know why people do auctions. Like when you're looking at these comps and the lower end comps are the auctions, like why are you doing that?
Mhm.
But I think that was $12. I think like on the lower end, like 120 bucks I can get out of them. I mean, they might not be fast sellers, but they're easy and small, and um so that was cool. I went to
Nice.
then I found an estate sale that wasn't even listed. It was in like an adjoining neighborhood to that one. That was also having community sale, and the family was running it, and they were you could tell they had taken a lot of stuff, but and this was what they didn't want, but they had some nice stuff, and it was all pretty reasonably. I had some Christmas stuff and nothing big. Oh, I found I do have I found a couple. Well, I found one Bratz and one, and then some. I found
Monster High.
I found Frankie. Right? She Frankie. She doesn't have any
I think
shoes or
so.
anything. She's got stitches and bolts, so I thought she was Frankie. I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
look.
that makes
I didn't.
sense.
I didn't look her up yet. And then I did find a Bratz. Where is she? I just brought these up because I was going to start looking at some of them. I don't know who she is. She has two different
I think that's
feet slash
Sasha.
flesh shoes. So I looked in the box because she had tons of like half naked Barbies that I didn't pick up, but
Uh-huh.
I just dug through. I got her. There's an Ever After doll in there. I think she's got her whole dress, and she's got two different shoes on.
Speaking of dolls, I bought so many totes of Barbies that
Yeah.
what
Mhm.
was it? Not last weekend, but the weekend before.
Yeah.
Went through all of it, sorted out all the Barbies, sorted out all the Brats, found a couple
Hmm.
Monster High. But yesterday I or sold, listed all of the Bratz dolls, which was kind of a pain. But then today I've already shipped out three, even one
Wow.
with a
That's
chewed
awesome.
off arm or a chewed off hand.
Wow.
I still sold it for $5, like
Wow.
per parts. So
Hmm.
even if you guys have dolls, well, at least Brats, like I've already sold. I have like the one listed that's missing a hand. The other one, like part of its arm is like chewed off. Like they had dogs or something that
Right.
chewed the
Right.
arm up, but it still sells. So I almost was like,
Because
oh, I should just
people
throw it
like
away. But
some people like
they might take the head off and like redo makeup and then put it on a new doll or
right,
something.
exactly. I
Uh huh.
have seen that. They do that with both the
Mm-hmm.
Monster High and then some people just collect. Maybe somebody
Yep.
has a chewed off head and they want to put that head on a
Yeah, or even have a listing where the head is missing. It's just like the torso. It's just like the
Yeah.
body and legs, no feet.
Mhm.
Just so I was like, I put that one up for parts too, and there's already
Yeah.
watchers on it. So
Mhm.
and I listed a bunch of accessories. I sent like all day listing and I felt like I got nowhere because it was just like a little bag of like clothes. But like I still listed a bunch, but since it was like a little bit like just tiny doll parts and stuff, like it
Right.
just didn't
Mhm.
seem like a lot.
Yeah.
Um but yeah,
That's cool.
what else did you find anything else?
Um Not a whole lot. Like I said, at that estate, the one estate sale, I got some Christmas stuff,
Mhm.
like a one of those glass Christmas trees, and I'm trying to think what else I got there. I forget.
Um, I'm
What I
looking
did,
through,
I
like,
did,
my
I went to another estate sale
Uh-huh.
and I was looking at the kitchen in that one, and I did find some electronics. What was the one thing I found? Like a keychain breathalyzer. Looks like it sells for like $40. I got it for like two.
Wow.
And then it could have come in handy years ago. Didn't have that when I was young. And then and then don't drink and drive, kids.
Yes.
And something else. Now I can't even remember what it was, but it sold for like $40 and I got it for like $3. I can't even remember what it was. But yeah, nothing. I mean, I think I got decent stuff this time, you know. It's like
Mhm.
high price, you know, stuff that's gonna 15 and over. I've been actually trying to like keep that in mind. Um
Mhm.
Not that I'm opposed to selling anything under 15, but you know. But everything I bought was is, significant. I was pretty picky this weekend.
I'm trying to be picky,
Oh,
but
but
I'm
you're not
also,
so much
like, in
so
my
it's like
head, like, I have the space, it's just I'm, like, paranoid about making a little death pile for the winter, because
yeah,
otherwise my only sourcing is gonna be, like, if I wanna source off Whatnot,
right.
Goodwill, and, like, Facebook Marketplace,
Yeah.
or, uh, it's just I have a little bit of anxiety about that, but I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever, but,
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
looking through my
No, I get
videos I did for my Inked Picker channel to see, like, what I picked up this week.
Mhm.
I can mention, like, oh, this is a cool one. So, off-brand bug spray,
Mhm.
just bug spray.
Yeah.
I found a vintage plush. It's like a big orange mosquito, and it has an off-brand tag on it.
Oh.
There's a couple listed for, like, 30 to
Oh,
$50,
wow.
but I
That's
found
great.
one, yeah, and it was in a free bin. It was just, like, they just had a bunch of free
Nice.
vintage stuffed animals, so I picked
Mhm.
that up. Um Some games. Oh, I did find a Pyrex butter dish. It's not like a super sought after one, maybe 20, 15, $20 for 10 cents.
Oh, wow.
I'm like,
What's the pattern on it? Do you know?
it's
Like,
just
what
white and
color?
it's got like blue little
Yeah.
like I think it's
Mhm.
called like blue snowflake or something, but they
Yeah.
kind of
I think
resemble snowflakes, but not quite.
I'm trying to think if that's the one I sold, that or the green one. I think I had the spring daisy one I sold. Yeah, but they sell. Like, it's
Yeah, they'll
not,
sell.
you'll get, like, it was 10 cents, you'll get that 15 to 20, no
Oh
problem.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Like, I
I'm
like
trying to
that
see what
kinda
else is in
stuff
my
too. Like, I
hauls.
like finding higher price stuff, but, like, bread and butter is good too.
Um, ooh, this is from the day after I got surgery. Yeah, okay, so I went out and I found oh, this one was really exciting. I don't know if I talked about it in the Discord. I think Matt pointed it out, but I went to a garage sale with my friend, and I'm kind of the one that I'll start on one end of the sale. I like have tunnel vision, right? So when I walk up to a sale, I'll start
Mhm.
with the nearest stuff and then keep going. I don't scan
Yeah.
the whole sale to see if
Mhm.
there's something super interesting. So there could be something ahead of me that's amazing, but my tunnel vision, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna look at this
Okay.
table right in front of
Right.
me. So I was doing that, and she was, like, walking around. She's not really a reseller, but she came around and, like, looked for stuff she liked.
Right.
She found the Sugar Skull Scentsy warmer, which I had wanted it for a while because,
Mhm.
when I used to live in Lincoln, Nebraska, there was this lady I knew, um, she was also a Scentsy she was like a Scentsy dealer, but she had
Mhm.
shown me, like, her collection she has of just, like, discontinued Scentys. I remember seeing the
Right.
Sugar Skull one, and I wanted it, but she wouldn't
Mhm.
sell it. She's like, "No, this is mine, like, it's discontinued." Anyways,
Uh,
$5 at this garage sale, and it's worth about
nice.
50, $60,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, "No, I think I'm gonna keep this. This is
You
really
keeping
cool."
it? Yeah.
Um,
That's
then I
awesome.
found some Ford King Ranch, truck mats, like floor mats, $10 for
Okay.
all of them, and I should make
Oh,
around
wow.
100.
Nice. Yeah,
Um,
floor mats are expensive.
yes. Yes, and I only picked them up because they're really clean. If it was like there was another pair is for like a Mazda or something.
Mhm.
I was just like, I honestly didn't want to deal with it. It was like it had one of those bigger mats, I think maybe a trunk mat, and I was just like, you know what? I only want the King Ranch ones. I'm just gonna leave the other ones behind. I just like willingly like didn't look it up and just
Right.
left it.
Mhm.
Went back to that house where I found like the Polly Pockets, a bunch of crystals. I don't know if you watched my episode yet of that, but I found like
Yes.
those Polly Pockets and stuff. We went
Oh,
back to that house because she opened up again.
right.
And like, because they were, as we were there, they were pulling stuff out of the attic and they're like, oh, we'll open at a later date to sell this stuff after they go through it. So I
Mhm.
went and I found like these little mini, like purple blow mold Halloween lights, which I don't know if they work or not. Found some of the McDonald's toys, like the Halloween ones where you could like put little like ghost costume on them and stuff.
Right. Uh-huh.
Found some of those. Some vintage plush. I also found this really cool metal toy. I would bring it in here, but I just took it out to the trailer this morning. It's a little circus clown. I had them comp it on Worth Point. I don't know if you saw it in the Worth Point request, but it's a little clown with a lion. It's a tin toy. You wind it up, and it looks like the clown's like using a whip on the lion to like make it run around in circles, and it's
Oh,
just
okay.
going like
Yeah,
this. It's
yeah.
worth it's worth quite a bit. I was like, holy crap! I forgot what it was, like 100. I have it listed at like 190, 199.
Oh, wow.
It was something
Nice.
crazy. I was like, "Oh my gosh." Just some random finds. I mean, I still came home with maybe like if I filled up my trunk, like in my car, is probably about a trunk full worth of stuff over the course of the 3 days, like Thursday through Saturday.
Mhm.
Um, and like I'm trying to list, like I just said in the Discord, I'm trying to maybe have a record sales weekend by just listing a ton of stuff. Like
Right.
the next few days because I my basement is so full, and on top of that, we were supposed to have our floors redone last Friday,
Oh, yeah, what
and
happened?
then they
It
called
didn't
us and
happen?
they were like, I guess there was a family emergency with one of the installers, so they were halfway tearing up someone else's floor, so they had to go finish their floor
Oh, right,
on the day
right.
we were supposed to get it, so they're coming tomorrow.
Oh,
Anyways, but
okay.
we have a bunch of our furniture down
I
here
was
in the
gonna say your
basement on top
furniture's
of
all been moved for a while, right?
yeah, so we put my turtle tank in our upstairs bathroom because they're not doing the bathroom. And like we brought our couch down here. So it's on top of all the crap I've accumulated over the past couple weeks and the
Right.
furniture down here. It's crammed. And I'm like, I'm so ready to like get the house back in order because it stresses me out.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so but yeah, so tomorrow is flooring day and I'm so
Oh,
excited.
okay.
It's gonna
Well,
be
that's good.
darker. It's gonna make my heart happy having like dark floors.
Right.
And yeah, trying to think what else. I found some Wii games for a buck. Found like a Wii Sports and like a Lego Pirates of the Caribbean and
Mhm.
any good sales within the past
Um,
week.
I had I sold that Garfield Jester
Yeah, I saw
costume
that. That's really
guy.
cool.
So he was 50 to 50 cents into $50, so that was good. That was my really good one. I had a couple other I sold some, like, porcelain perfume bottles for, like, 35 and a mug for, like, 15. I nothing but the Garfield one was my good one. My sales have
Yeah,
been
that is
like,
really good.
"Ooh, is that me?" Yeah, I pulled the okay. Um, I I have Bluetooth, but it when I gotta try it again because the first couple times I tried it, it was like you were delay talking through my headphones, so I keep having it
Mhm.
plugged in, but and then I'm leaning on it, and it was coming out. um, yeah, but well, this was the highlight of my garage sales because
Hmm.
I'm in this guy's garage. This is in my neighborhood. I posted it on Discord, so you probably saw it. But this guy comes out
With a
with with,
parrot.
with a I mean, a big giant parrot, and it was ABC Matt's like, "Is that taxidermy?" I'm like, "No, he was very much alive." This parrot just chilled on the lawn. He just walked, or she, I don't
He's
know,
like a little dog.
walked around. I was
Actually,
like, they were like, "He
speaking of
doesn't
seeing
fly
things on
away."
the
He's like, "No."
podcast,
Yeah,
really? I was gonna
yeah.
say, speaking of seeing things on the podcast, is our podcast
Mhm.
posted elsewhere other than YouTube that people would just be
No,
listening?
I
Okay,
am working on it. I am working on it.
okay.
I
That I've
I
been meaning
had
to ask on the
yeah.
podcast so people can.
It okay, I will say it here. I am going to try my hardest by next week because well, my computer is not the best. I when I download it, I do get the sound file
Uh-huh.
separate, but I didn't do that the first couple times, so now I think I have to just take the sound file off, and so I have to
Uh-huh.
figure out how to do that, and then, but now I have like separate ones. So I'm just gonna load up the first, like I'll just load up the first 15 hopefully, and then we'll be going from
There we
there.
go. There you go.
But
There
yes, it
goes.
is
There's
it
your
is
answer.
coming. I also had to I was having computer problems. I'm going to need a new one very soon. I, I'm downloading this, and now I get like two files. When I download it, I get after we record it, we use a I use Zencaster, download it, so I get two files, and then I produce it. I put our names and
Uh-huh.
everything up there. And so then my the other day I was trying to do something for my paranormal stuff, and I was like, you don't have any memory. I was like, oh crap, I had to put all these, they're big files. I had to
Yeah.
get out a hard drive and save them all. So actually my computer, aside from being weird today, was running a little faster because I took, like, 200 gigabytes of stuff off it.
Oh god.
Something like that. And now I'm just putting them on the hard drive, so we're all good.
There you go.
But yes, so that it will be somewhere. Uh I will put it. It will be everywhere that you can find a podcast, because I just want to do it. I think I'm going to do it through Spotify or whatever. So it will be there if you want to listen.
There you go.
Yep.
Um, trying to see things I sold. I sold a heart-shaped picnic basket for 45.50, but the buyer was all in about $120 to get it shipped. Because this thing was big. It was a big heart-shaped picnic basket.
Oh
And I
yeah, yeah.
wondered if they were like gonna use it maybe for like maybe a date or anniversary, maybe if they were gonna propose or something, because like the
Hmm.
guy, I could see the guy's name. And then he was like, I need this by this date. Actually, no, now that I'm here, I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna see where it's at. Because it should be getting there on time, but I just wanted to make sure. Oh yeah, because it just got picked up yesterday. I had so much stuff shipped out yesterday. It was crazy, but it was also like weekend sales and then partially stuff from the days that I wasn't packing because I put my store on time away for a couple days.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, sold
Yeah,
a
I had a
slot of
couple little
Brita.
small sales, but I had one of those. Um, oh, I'm sorry. I'm blanking out.
No,
You're
you're
starting
good.
to talk. Go ahead.
Oh,
um,
I was just gonna say I sold some Brita filters that I picked up for $2
yeah,
for $60 and sold international, which is kind of cool.
I uh, I sold this, like, it's a hole punch for like a disc planner system.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's big and it's
Uh-huh.
heavy, and I sold it to somebody in California, and I put on, like, I had the parcel select on it, so it's cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
because it didn't need a lot of wrapping. I just, put some paper in a box, and um but it went to California apparently. So I had sent they sent me like a little, it was like $20, right? And they sent me like 11, and I was like, no, 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if I paid $1 for it, I don't know, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they sent me back an offer that said 17, and I just accepted it, and I'm like, why'd they send me back an offer? Well, apparently they put in the message, which I don't read,
Yeah.
$5 shipping. And then they're like, why does it say $10 shipping? And I'm like, well, shipping isn't included in your offer. And I didn't see that anyway.
I
But I
hate it
said,
when people
shipping
do
isn't including
that.
an offer. And I said, and I'm just charging you straight UPS price. Like, because it's parcel select. I'm not getting a discount on that either. But I said, let me know if you want to cancel. But they paid for it. So I hope I don't get any
People do
crappy
that
feedback.
all the
But
time
I
where
mean,
they'll
if they
send an
do,
offer and
yeah,
they're like, "Oh, with free shipping." I'm like, "I can't
no,
change the shipping on an offer." Like, it's
no.
whatever's on the listing.
Right. Yeah. And it says that when you make an offer. Like, it says it on the screen, you know? Make your offer to include whatever shipping, I don't know how it's worded, but it says it.
Mhm.
So anyway, they bought it. I hope I don't get a crappy feedback from them. I mean, they can't give me a crappy feedback for shipping, because I'd be confident I could get that removed. So
Yeah.
otherwise, yeah, I had some, like, other little 20, 15, $20 sales.
All I
But my
had
store has
speaking
picked
of
up, so
the
I'm glad.
That's really good. Yeah, mine too. Like I'm looking at my graph, and there's some little ones,
Mhm.
and then there's like a spike like every other day because I'm listing so
That
much. So it'll be like
yeah,
little line, big line, little line.
that's kinda
Yeah,
how
like
mine is. It's like I won't have many one day and then boom, boom. Like I had a bunch
hmm
yesterday. Today, is kinda quiet.
yeah. Today's quiet for me too. But I did want to talk about I got a return. Okay, so
Oh,
can talk about it. So I got this little doll. Okay, I sold her. I listed her. I picked her up. She was in a little lot for like 50 cents at this garage sale from
yeah.
GoPro footage that I'm going to release today. I made a whole GoPro video with
Oh,
footage.
no.
Got this with a bunch of other dollars for 50 cents. Listed her for
Uh-huh.
I listed her for 25 free ship. Someone sent me offer for 22 and I accepted it. And I was like, "Okay, cool. I literally sold this like the same day I listed it, I think." And I took pictures, I do front, back. I like opened up the dress, I think, and then like showed the marking on the back of her head. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Then I get a message and they're like, I'm very disappointed that damage wasn't disclosed on this. Well, I took a picture. I didn't write in the description anything. Usually I don't unless it's like,
Mhm.
oh, it's missing this piece or whatever. But I'm like in the
Right.
picture, obviously, if you're looking, there is a little there's a little like hole right here. There's like a little like scrape on her arm right
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
And you can barely see it. But anyways, so they were complaining about that. And I was just like, I kind of felt like they were fishing. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, if you want a refund, go ahead and open a return.
Mhm.
Basically saying like I wasn't really going to do anything. So to me, I felt like, there's pictures. If you look, you can obviously see.
Right.
Well, I get it back and eBay, you can do the partial refund tool as a
Right.
top rated seller. So
Yeah.
to me, I was like, because they had opened a return reason as the item arrived damaged. So I'm like, the item arrived how it was pictured in the listing.
Yeah.
So as a result, I had to pay return shipping back. So I did the partial refund tool to deduct 50%. I even talked to eBay support right before I did this, be like, is this right for me to do that? And they're like, yeah. And now the buyer's angry that they didn't get their full refund. And I'm like, well, I kind of feel bad, but I'm like, well, you opened it as it was damaged when it's literally exactly how it's pictured. It's
Right.
just
Right.
I guess I didn't disclose in the description that there was a little bit of damage, but it's also if you look at the pictures, you can obviously see that
People
there's
either
a
don't look at
thing there.
pictures, they don't read descriptions, or both. I sometimes I'm like, I love when they're like, "What's this measure?" I'm like, "Last picture measurements," you know, because
Yeah, like it's obvious.
after listing about a week, I started getting out the tape measure and measuring and putting pictures of measurements in there
I've
because
started doing that, especially with clothes lately, because people are like, "Oh,
Mhm.
what's the pit to pit, or what's the collar to the hem on the bottom,
Right.
or
I do
whatever."
it with I do it with everything. I just it's easy. You have enough pictures now, so it's not a like there was before we got the 24 pictures when we still had 12. There was sometimes like if I needed more pictures, I had to write the measurements down in description,
Oh, okay.
but now, I just do it for everything because somebody always asks. They still ask,
Yes.
but
Especially with vintage clothing. I have some vintage new with tag clothing,
Mhm.
and I've gotten so many, which I get it
Yeah,
because times have
right.
changed. Now a
And they
small could fit more like an extra small or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the measurements are a lot different. I get that, yeah.
yep. Um, I was trying to think what else, but not anything like super amazing. Oh, I guess that those cat kits that I showed in the Discord, I bought a bunch of these cat I don't know, it's like quilting kit or something. I don't know what they're really called. But, I bought
Yeah,
them at a sale this last weekend for a buck a piece, got a set of 9, listed it for 90 bucks, sold it.
yeah,
It's called
that's nice.
a Maggie Walker Block of the Month. It's cats, a pleek, 1999. I don't really know what it's
So are they
for. I
like
mean,
how, like, quilting, like, sometimes they'll do, like, squares? I guess that's probably what it
it
is,
has
right?
little
Like,
pieces of fabric in the kit,
yeah.
so, like,
So you
you
can
use
make,
those
like, a
fabrics to make
square.
it.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
mhm.
so, The only thing is the ninth kit does not have any fabric in it. Like, the fabric was taken out and not put back in. All the other ones
Mhm.
have the fabric, the instructions, the bags.
That's cool. Yeah.
Um, but I was like, "Oh,
I love
that's
stuff like
pretty
that,
cool."
like
Yes.
the little craft kits.
I
Um,
love picking those up. I also sold another one that was Halloween. I picked it up for $2, sold for, like, 11 plus ship, which it
mhm.
wasn't amazing, but it was old Halloween, like,
Yeah,
vintage. And I'm like, "Someone might like this." And it was open. Usually, I don't pick up open craft kits like that because there's just so many you have
right,
to, like, look for the needle and the instructions and the all that.
right.
Um,
I I
oh,
think
and I
that's
listed
cool.
all my Polly Pockets too. I have yet to sell
Oh,
any. Well, I had one that's I accepted an offer on yesterday, but they
uh-huh.
haven't paid
Haven't
yet.
paid it.
But actually, I paid about I paid $15 for a pile of stuff, including the box of Polly Pockets in there, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna make probably about 250 to $300 on the Polly Pockets, which is amazing. Um, I don't expect to ever come across them again because I feel like people now know, like, about unless, like, you go to the bins and you find one of the little, like, tiny dolls and, like 'cause that's what I do when I go to the bins, I'll look in
right,
the little, like, section 'cause they dump them, but a lot of, like, little tiny things get stuck on one side. I'll go through and
right.
dig, like, I find coins or, like, doll pieces and
Yeah.
whatever. Anyways, but, um,
Mm.
did you listen to the Trash to Cash podcast today?
You probably won't be able to
Oh, yeah,
see it when
you
but
were,
it was
yeah, when I
I'm in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of it. I had it on the background. I started watching it and flipping back and forth in their VHS looking
yeah,
crackly.
that's different. It's
It's
a little kinda
funny.
trippy.
Yeah, no. I was like, "Oh." But yeah, I listened to that. I Oh, you're speaking of you haven't got paid yet. Did you listen to reseller clickbait yesterday?
Yes.
And they talked about
Something
um
about, provoked arrogance? Provoked something.
oh yeah, I don't know. Well, I was just thinking because they were talking about people that don't that put an offer in and don't or accept an offer and don't pay.
Yeah,
Cause like well Ken, aka SSK promo, I gotta get his full title, aka Mr. Bill, aka the
the
DOG.
DOG,
Um he's in the pay now if you accept the offer. I'm with him. I do get Jimmy's side of it because he's like, well, some people are like, I want this offer, but I don't get paid till Friday. Okay,
mhm,
but he's like, and some people send him that message. If somebody sent me that message, I might feel a little, better about it. But
mhm.
still, I don't know.
Yeah,
Make the
I was
offer,
kinda like, "Oh, that's"
or if you don't get paid till Friday, then you make the offer on Friday. Because if I gave you the offer and nobody takes it, I'll still take it on. You know what I mean? Chances
mm,
are the seller's still going to take it by then. But anyway, he had um, somebody who he canceled after the 4 days, and then they left him bad feedback because he didn't pay.
for
The person didn't
canceling,
pay.
yeah.
What? And I'm like, how is that even possible? And I mean, he was heated about that. He made him take it down.
Oh, I'd
But
be upset too, because
I
like,
would too.
after that point,
No,
there is no
right.
like, as Ken said,
There's
there's no
no chance.
transaction.
Mm-mm.
So,
Yeah,
they
and
can't rate anything, like,
they
there's nothing to rate.
left feedback. Like, what? Yeah. Like some things, man, it's just like eBay's so big that they they didn't work these things out. And it's like, why is somebody allowed to leave feedback that didn't pay? That should never ever happen. So, yeah, that was I thought that was funny. I also
Well, your
am
feelings are
I'm
valid,
also in
Jimmy, 'cause I
camp.
would be pissed.
Oh, I would be too. I'd be heated. I'd be on that phone. I'd be just like him. I'm like, okay, because he was like, I'm not going anywhere until this feedback gets removed. I'd be the same way. I'm like, okay, well, if you can't take it down, you're gonna have to give me somebody that can, because this is ridiculous. And I guess it wasn't even negative; it was neutral, right? But this is the point. It's the point. That guy didn't
Yep.
pay for anything, right? You know? You don't
Yep.
even I mean, and even if you're in the camp of even if you're on Jimmy's side of, you know, buy now, pay 4 days later, um, I mean, there's gotta be a limit. You gotta draw a line, and 4 days is now the line. I think that's a good line if you're gonna do it that way. Um, I really think they need to get on the ball with that though. With for a while there, I was getting the offers where it said, you know, if you accept this offer, buyer's going to pay immediately. You know, or funds will
Mhm.
be sent immediately. But I haven't had one of them in a while. Now I haven't had any non-payers either in a while. Um, but they got to get
I
on
just
that.
had 3 orders get canceled today or
Wow,
within the past 2 days,
really?
for
So weird.
non-payment. One of them was kinda stupid because I is for my Apple Watch, I sold my box for my Apple Watch. I sell the boxes for any type of, like, appliance or
Right.
not appliance,
Hmm.
but, like, gaming systems or e
Right.
electronics.
Hmm.
'Cause I've made decent money on it.
Yeah.
So I listed my Apple Watch box, it's been listed forever, and someone sent me an offer and I accepted it, and then I after a couple days, usually I'll send the send payment reminder message, and it'll
Hmm.
be whatever eBay puts in there,
Yeah.
and they're like, "I'm not paying for this because you didn't accept the offer in time," or something. I'm like, "Well, when you get an
What?
offer sent, you get, like,
It
what, 2
says
days to respond to an
it.
offer or
Yeah.
24
It says
hours?"
how much time. Like,
Yeah,
I think it's
so I
different.
guess I didn't accept it fast enough for them, so they didn't pay, so I
I
just
think
left
it's
it and it canceled.
yeah.
I
I
was just
think it
like,
might is
"Okay."
it different for different categories? Because sometimes I notice, like, it says 24 hours and sometimes it says
Mhm.
48.
I'm
It
not
might be the
sure,
cat. Yeah.
but
But, yeah,
I do
I
notice
mean,
it's
it has the
different.
time. What are you're not like, people think you're,
So I
like,
just left
you know, you
it
got other things
and
to do in your life. You're not in front of the computer 24/7. Does take a little bit of time to accept an offer
yeah, I'm pretty
sometimes.
sure it was a thing where, like, they submitted the offer at, like, 5 or 6 AM, and I didn't get up until, like,
Yeah.
10 or 11, and
But that might be the case where, like, they were talking about different scenarios, like, somebody wants that box, so they get a whole bunch of people they get, you know, 3 or 4 people that are selling it, and they give the offer, and whoever does first, that's the one they pay.
I when they said that on the podcast, I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, that might have been what happened with me," but
Yeah, because 'cause they're probably trying to sell an Apple Watch, and they want the box to make it, you know, get a little more
yeah, and
money or
they just,
something
like they
from
want a
it,
deal and
and
don't wanna buy it now.
yep, mhm, and they just took the first person, you know, that's who they paid. It's, uh, crazy, but I would never do if I'm making an offer, I want that particular one, you know? Because, like, when I'm looking at stuff, I'm looking at the one that, you know, looks whatever it is, you know?
Mhm.
And sometimes, um, that's the other thing, that's why I don't always you know, I don't price my stuff the lowest I mean, unless, like, there's flaws or something, I don't price
Mhm.
my stuff at the lowest because, um, I don't always necessarily buy the cheapest because you have to look at if you're buying something used, you have to look at condition, you know?
Mhm.
So, but if I make an offer, I'm waiting out that offer until I pay, but you know, some people are not like that.
Yeah.
It just, you know,
I
if
d
I think about people like you had like 3, you know, I don't I don't have that much stuff listed, but like you figure people that have like a lot of stuff listed and a lot of you know, they're getting a lot of offers and you know, that's just like a big I mean, at least it's a little better now that eBay has like kind of like a more automated system with it with the 4 days and, you know. But now, um but if you get a lot of those, you know, that's a big pain in the butt.
yeah, I agree.
You know,
I
if you're doing
just
a whole lot of offers and a whole lot of I don't know, but yeah.
do you have anything else? I'm trying to see things I have to ship out today. It's rainy out today. I left for a little bit, and then I came back out, and the ground's all wet
Mhm.
now, and it's
Yeah.
drizzling a little
That's
bit.
kinda how it
So,
is here today. It's not as warm as it was, and but the pollen
and
is still
so,
like
um, but I'm hoping this weekend's good for garage sales. I'm
yeah,
keeping
I
track.
haven't
'Cause I'm 'Cause of course, I was so upset 'cause I'm like, the day of my surgery last week, Wednesday, there's usually
mhm,
never garage sales on Wednesdays. Usually, maybe there's a straggler here and there, maybe one sale starts on a Wednesday, they wanna get an early start. Okay, cool.
right, mhm.
There were 3 or 4 that started on surgery day, and I really wanted, like, my mom to take me right after I got out of there to take me,
She's
but of
like,
course, I was like,
"No."
right off of anesthesia, and I was like, "Let's go." No, but, so I didn't go,
Mom's like,
but
"Uh-uh."
I was like, "Of course, on the day, like, the one day I can't, there's 4 sales on Wednesday," and I was like,
I you
looks like
guys
it's
with
supposed to be
the
rainy."
'cause Graham's why I put that on the Discord. I was like, "What is with you guys out there in the Midwest in your plain states? Doesn't anybody work?" He was like, "Apparently not." 'Cause, I mean, they have them on Mondays. They
Yeah,
were
I
going
was
to garage
surprised when
sale
they
on
said
Mondays.
that.
I'm like, "What is
Usually,
going on?"
like, maybe there'll maybe be a out of state sale, like, in the middle of the week, which, okay, whatever, or, like,
Mhm.
Sunday through Tuesday, whatever,
Yeah.
but a Monday
Yeah.
for a
Estate
garage
sales
sale?
estate sales here, sometimes Wednesday, but usually Thursday through Sunday. Um, Garage sales, occasionally if I see Friday, but that's a rare and honestly, usually not the greatest they're usually like, um, not not stuff you want. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Mhm,
I I I hit a lot of going to different garage sales this weekend. I hit a lot of young couples with baby toys, baby clothes, and, home goods, Marshall's decor, you know?
mhm.
And a few that did a little couponing too, you know. Nothing I needed. I'm not opposed to picking up a couple dollars for some cleaning supply I need, but nothing I
Yeah,
needed. But like there was a lot of that this weekend, a lot. I don't think they're selling. I don't know how well they were doing because like I was like a lot of those I got to later that I started running across and they still had a lot left. I don't know how much they sold. I have a cousin who's got like 4 kids under 4 and,
mhm.
because she got triplets and she does sells a lot
Oh,
of
wow.
stuff. She sells it though on Marketplace. Like
Mhm,
somebody's always at their door because she's selling stuff. Like, because she had like 3 3 chairs, 3 little swinging crib things, she sold all those that way. She didn't wait for for a garage sale. She just did. I think that that is probably the better way to get rid of that stuff. I would think because you need it when you need it. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't
mhm.
wait until a garage sale in the spring. Like if you need like a baby swing, you're gonna look on like I need a baby swing tomorrow or something.
Instead of
You're
buying
gonna
it
look.
outright.
Or yeah, if you want to get a used one or you get a deal, yeah. But like if you can't time when you're having a baby
Yeah, for sure.
to coincide with garage sale season. I don't know. That's just, I think probably like stuff like that is if you have stuff like that, I would try and sell it that way. Marketplace. I don't do that, but
Speaking of Marketplace, the other day, I sold, like, 3 pairs of shoes in one day on Marketplace because 'cause I'll kinda cross post, and, like, they've been sitting there forever, and then one day, this person wanted 2 pairs, and another person wanted another pair, so I sold all those, and,
did you ship them
uh
or were they pickups?
no, 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 I only do local, I don't ship on
Yeah, I was gonna say
Marketplace.
I didn't think you did. Yeah. Okay.
Um, but, then I bought it's called, like, the North Face Rue, it's like a fanny pack or a shoulder pack,
Uh huh.
um, $2 at a garage sale on I think it's Friday or Saturday. And then I saw someone else put theirs on Facebook for 15 and like they had a bunch of people. So I'm like, okay, I have mine. It looks pretty much like new. I'm gonna list it for 20, and I have someone
Yeah.
coming to pick it up today,
Nice,
which is
nice.
great.
Yeah.
So I only have to list it. It's just pretty much out the door. Usually I don't like to pick up stuff intentionally for marketplace, but if it's like, if I have something listed on eBay, it's just not selling, I'll put it on marketplace for an even cheaper price, like better
Right.
than eBay prices to just get it
Mhm.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so it's
I
good.
never find anything I well, I was shipping marketplace, like, back, when it was
Yeah, when they had like the deal.
the deals and the free shipping and for
Mhm.
buyers and stuff, and when I started out, I was selling a lot of stuff on marketplace, and then all of a sudden it just went dead. So, I took all my stuff down, but, and I haven't done any pickups. I have some stuff in my basement, like, personal things that, I have, like, some kitchen things that were, like, never like, I don't know. My mother-in-law thought we were, like, gonna have, like, giant parties or something. Like, I have, like,
Uh-huh.
this big it's like a crock pot with, like it's like a warming plate, you know what I mean? Like, if you had a big party and you had, like, 3 it's got, like, 3 little things in it,
Uh-huh.
and, like, we never even opened it. And I have a
Like for
couple
like
I
a
got
graduation party or something.
Yeah, I'm like, "I'm never gonna use that." And then, but my mother-in-law is a big deal person, and she probably bought it for my sister-in-law and just bought one for me too.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But, it's sitting down there. I mean, it's probably 15 years old, but it's brand new. I'm like,
Well,
I
you
have
could
to
maybe
put it on
just
Facebook Marketplace. I gotta
just
do
just
it.
keep it till your son graduates and you can use it for his graduation party
Oh,
or
no.
something.
I'll get catered. I'm not
Yeah.
even
I got actually, speaking of getting off topic, but it is almost graduation season, and,
Mhm,
for my graduation party, I got, we have this local grocery store called Hy-Vee. I had them cater their Chinese food for my graduation party. I thought that
mhm.
was I had not seen anyone
I
else ever do Chinese food for their graduation party, and I was
That's
like,
awesome.
"Yes." Yeah,
Who
so
you're
crab
at
rangoons and everything.
Nice.
Yep.
Is it, is it like a is it like a fancy grocery store? Do they have, like? Because 'cause you're always getting, like,
No.
sushi and stuff, or
Well, they have, like, inside of there, they have, like, a little thing where they'll have, like, you can get cooked food, like a
Yeah.
takeout box with
That's
chicken or whatever. It's
we
just
have
but there's also a little restaurant inside too. So it's like
Right, see, we
there's a
have this
bunch of it.
one, they just opened one in Delaware. It's in I don't know where else they are, Wegmans?
Mhm.
And, like, everybody went cuckoo bananas. I mean, it is a nice grocery store, don't get me wrong.
Uh-huh.
And they have, like, you can eat there, you can get a burger and fries, you can get, they're making sushi there. I mean, they make sushi at the other
That's what
grocery
it
stores
sounds
too, but
like with
this
Hy-Vee too, 'cause they
yeah,
do all
so
that kinda stuff.
it's fancy. It's fancier than we have.
I don't know, I guess you could call it fancy, but to me, it's normal.
Right, well,
It's
we never
yeah.
had that. I mean, some of our other grocery stores have tried to step it up a notch in the last years because
Mhm.
they knew Wegmans was coming. And there's a Wegmans not too far from here, but, like, I'm not driving all that way to get groceries. This one's closer. This one's
Mhm.
it's around the corner from the president's house.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So you can't go there when he's home because you get stuck in traffic.
Oh, man.
We call it the Joe Jam. But it is nice, and actually they
Yeah.
have a good selection of that better than the one there's a grocery store right around the corner from me
Mhm.
of gluten-free stuff, but and they have I I love cheese. They have amazing, like, cheese section.
Like fresh cut cheese, like
Yeah,
where
all
you can,
just
like, have
every
them cut it for you?
Yes, yes. I mean, I get a lot of cheese from Costco. They have fancy and very good cheese too, but this is
Mhm.
like it's out there and they have little samples. I'm like,
Hmm.
"Ooh, come here and have lunch."
Yeah. Off of all the samples.
But yeah, so I was wondering if it sounds like the Wegmans, yeah. I mean, it's normal for you, but we
Mhm.
didn't have one. Um, but yeah, that's funny. You had Chinese food. I love Chinese food. My
Yes.
we went to so I do that paranormal stuff. I went to
Yeah.
went to a friend's house. We were doing some stuff for it, and his wife wasn't home. We're like, where's she? He's like, well, her uh like they're like really close friends, almost like family. Like she grew up next door to him. They're Chinese, and he goes, everyone. He does not. My friend Andy does not like Chinese food, and his wife. They he used every once in a while they want to go and get dim sum, and he hates it. He goes, and this isn't like Chinese food. This isn't American Chinese food dim sum. He goes, this is chicken feet dim sum, and he was like, oh. She came home. She's like, I brought you some chicken feet, Andy. He was like, no. I'm like, but I like Chinese food. I mean, I don't eat chicken feet, but
No, I've never had that. Sorry, someone's spamming the Discord and they're
uh
being a little
oh,
unhinged right now. I'm about to
uh oh.
maybe mute somebody.
Is it somebody normal, or I mean somebody that's always there?
Yeah. Um,
Uh,
oh, I,
I'm
I
gonna
did want
guess
to talk
who it
about.
is.
Yeah, you can probably see if you go in there right now.
Uh huh.
I did want to talk about this because I thought it was so funny. I don't know if this reseller even knows that I do content and stuff like that, but there's a main like reseller competitor because I always see him at the sales I go to. Like we both must be thinking the same thing because like in the morning usually we'll first like the first sale will be both be there.
Yeah.
I get up to the sale. I don't think it's the first one. It might have been. It was me one day after surgery. I'm not doing amazing, but I'm still walking around. I walk
Mm-hmm.
up to the sale. I see him and he has crutches. Apparently, he tore his ACL or something. So we're both here, like kind of crippled, trying to go to sales still. I
Oh.
felt bad for him because he had crutches, so he can't really like carry a bunch of stuff. He had his wife there with him, and she was helping.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh man, I was like, I couldn't imagine like if it's me on crutches. I don't even know if I could go to a sale. I'd have someone like bring me around in a wheelchair and be like, I want that. I want that. Pay someone to take me
You
to
need the
sales in a wheelchair.
scooter.
So yeah, there you go. Yeah, but I thought that was like a funny coincidence that
Oh man.
we're both like resellers and we're both like trying to still get out there and hustle even though we're dealing with health stuff.
That's funny. Yeah,
Let's see if I can
I
change
probably
the
would have
terms
taken
for
a day
that.
off, but yeah. Oh, it was fun. Well, yeah, it was funny. We got way off topic, but going back to garage sales that aren't on the weekend, most of them here are Saturdays, sometimes Sunday. Usually they're just one day,
Hmm.
and that's because I didn't finish Trash to Cash yet, but they did talk because Kevin was like garage sales on Friday, and then and Dave was like, everybody down here's retired and they want to do stuff on Saturdays, I guess. I was like, yeah, because he doesn't get to them on Fridays and then stuff's gone.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, yeah, I at least there's not, yeah, that's like not a thing around here. I know it's not a big thing for the
I'm just glad it's like Thursday through Saturday. Like that's pretty much my work week
Mhm.
right there. And yeah, like
Yeah.
when I had a normal job,
Hmm.
I didn't want to work on sorry, I'm like paranoid about spiders right now because I saw a wolf spider in my house the other day and I'm like paranoid that there's
Oh
one on my feet.
no, no,
Ugh.
no,
And then
no.
my cat ate it and I was like, ah,
Oh,
like
he gonna
um
cough up a wolf spider hairball. They're
ugh, I
hairy
hope
and
not.
gross. Ooh.
Anyways, what was I talking about? I was too scared about spiders. What were we talking about?
Garage sales on regular days of the
Yeah,
week.
having a normal job, I would hate working on weekends, but if it's on my own terms where it's like, yeah, I just got to get up for a few hours and go to sales, like
Oh,
I
I don't
don't have to go
yeah.
super hard and like be out all day. I can just go for a couple hours, call it good,
Yeah.
and then go do whatever, like
Yeah, no,
go do stuff with my husband or whatever, you know.
I don't mind because I like shopping. What I don't like is getting up early in the morning. That's the hardest for me. I'm like dragging myself out of bed. But um I don't mind that. I when I worked my regular job, I was so tired on the weekend. Like Fridays I was out. Like I'd fall asleep on the couch before dinner sometimes. I was so tired, like mentally and physically exhausted. And
Yeah.
it's almost like the weekends, it's like I at the end before I quit, it was just like you barely wanted I mean, I had to get up and do stuff. There were certain, things and I have a son and but,
You're
you know, he
obligated to be there for
yeah,
hours and
yeah.
whatever.
Well, luckily, he doesn't do, like, a million things, you know? He has, like, a couple things he does, which is fine
Uh-huh.
by me, 'cause he's an introvert like the rest of us around here, so, you know, he does swimming in the summer, and he does scouts, and he did a couple after school things, which, you know, don't involve me, so
Mhm.
but, but yeah, I would just be so tired. But now it's like, you know, oh, I have fun, and garage sales only go from, like, 8 to 12 noon or 1 here, so, you know, you're done. I mean, I'm usually done by noon, because then it's hot or people are, packing up or whatever. I
Mhm.
when I got when I picked him I went to garage sales and then an estate sale that was actually, like, right down the street from the school he's gonna go to. Um, it's a cool house. I did film inside of it. I didn't have a GoPro on, I just had my phone. Um, so I am gonna try and edit that because it was a cool old house, and they were, like, way into art. Like, they had money. They had, like, a lot of this estate sale company. They usually do a little higher end estate sales, um,
Oh, like all the
and
fancy
everything
glass
is
and
priced pretty high.
all that.
Yeah, these people had a lot of art, you know, um,
Mhm.
but on the last day, which I think because this one, I think it started. I think that one actually started Wednesday night and it went to Saturday. It was 50% off. There's this other estate sale company, and so I came home, I dropped him off, I drove around my neighborhood. It's like my neighborhood and adjoining neighborhood, like we're having theirs.
Mhm.
And I don't think I found anything in my neighborhood except the guy with the parrot, which was freaking awesome. Um, I'm like, I didn't know there's this giant parrot living down the street that just chills in the front lawn. But there was another estate sale. Now it's this company that I know of from when we were all locked down and nobody was having in-person things. And these sisters that do these estate sales, they were having, like, they were going through the houses and people were
Mhm.
saying, I want that, I want that. And they would tell how much they would pick, you know, they would film. So they were doing kind of like a live estate sale on Facebook. And I watched a few of them and I'm like, man, their stuff is really overpriced. So I went that it was not far from here. So I was like, I'm gonna go check it out in person. It's the last day of the sale. You know, they gotta have some deals. Only
Mhm.
20% off. The house was still chock full. There's no resellers there, obviously. The only people that
Mhm.
have stuff in a basket have, like, a couple little things. Everything was so, I mean, we were talking about because I sold that. It's like a, oh, what is it? Playmobil. It was like a boat, like a Roman ship. Um, and the little figurines. They had one little figurine for, like, it was marked at like was it $5 or $8? It was something ridiculous. I was like, what? I was like, who even marks that separately? Put it like they had like other little toys spread out, like you put them in a bag, you know? It was so, but I filmed in there too.
Wow.
But I was only in there
Yeah,
for
I
a few
don't like
minutes, but
sales
I
like
was
that
good.
where they just like they price it like I don't know what to call it, like boutique prices.
Well, see,
Where
and
it's like
I wonder, and you know, ABC Metz, ABC Met is the estate sales specialist, right? He has
yeah.
because that's like mostly what he goes to out there. But
Mhm.
we're talking about like some estate sales, like whatever they don't sell, they keep and they or whatever they buy at, like, you know, cheap and they sell it. And I know
Yeah.
these people used to have a store, but I thought I heard that they closed the store because I was wondering if that's kind of what they were doing. They mark everything up and then they just buy it at a discount from the families and sell it themselves, you know,
Mhm.
which just kind of sucks. There's other, you know, even the one that the other one I went to, which, you know, stuff is priced higher, but the stuff is like nice stuff, you know, like this was like, you know, signed artwork that, you know, and these people had like stuff from galleries and, you know, it wasn't, you know, cheap stuff. But I mean,
Mhm.
they had I got stuff there. They had 50% off on the last day, and they didn't even have. They had 20, and stuff was so high. was crazy.
Wow.
But I had never been to one of theirs in person. That's why I was like, I'm gonna go in and just peek. And
Mhm.
there was good stuff at this place. You would have made a killing at this place if they had priced it to move. It was not priced to move, which is sad. I feel like they're taking advantage of whoever they're selling for, you know?
Well, that's all I got. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
we're already about an hour and 20. It's
Oh yeah.
about where we stop at anyways, but,
Mhm.
um,
Oh, one last
anyways.
thing. I got my New
Yes.
Jersey Picker sticker.
Ooh, and it's
It's
signed?
signed. He gave me a whole bunch of stickers, but he signed one. Yeah. New Jersey Picker. Thanks, Chris. But
I got
yep.
one of his stickers too.
Is it
Anyways,
signed?
no, it's not signed, you got a limited edition.
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh,
guys.
alrighty. Well, good luck this
Well,
weekend. Happy Mother's Day to any mothers out there. See, that's why I don't think there's going to be many sales around here because it's Mother's Day. There's,
oh yeah, that's true. And happy Mother's Day to my mom. I know she
yep.
watches. She
Aw.
watches. And happy birthday to all the reselling mamas, like NC Picker mama,
I don't
and
even tell my
all the
mom.
wives. All the wives are moms, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So Dawn and Blue Ridge Mama. I know that
Yeah.
she probably doesn't like the username. And Tina. Happy
Tina.
Mother's Day
Mhm.
to you guys. And you, Mo, your mom.
Thank you.
All the pet moms out there.
Pet
I'm a pet
moms
mom,
and
but
dads.
not a
Yeah.
mom. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So that's all. That's it.
yeah. Alrighty.
Hopefully we have decent sales. But it looks like it'll be rainy here, so maybe I'll have a little bit of downtime to list a bunch of stuff. So that'd be cool.
I got a
I'd be
list.
happy to either.
I've been getting better, but I would appreciate some time to get my butt into gear and list
For
this
sure.
list.
All right, y'all.
Alrighty. Have a good
Have a good
weekend.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye.